Hey guys, so was she sweet and sexy in the beginning, but now she's only nice when she wants something? Do you feel like you have to walk on eggshells because her temper flares up unpredictably? Are you starting to question your self-worth? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you might be dating an emotionally damaged woman. Let's look at the top 10 signs you might be dating an emotionally damaged woman and some of the sneaky things she might say or do to undermine your confidence. And we'll look at if your love can change her and the one question you can ask to discover if she's a narcissist. If you're new to my channel, welcome to Just the Tip Tuesday. The thing about emotionally damaged women and narcissists is that they are master manipulators. They start out sweet and charming to hook you in. You enter the relationship totally confident, and little by little, her behaviors and abuse of you erode your self-confidence until nothing's left but self-doubt. Does this sound familiar? Let's jump right into the top 10 signs you might be dating an emotionally damaged woman or a narcissist. Number 1, she asks a lot of questions about your past, only to use them against you later. You think she's super into you. Meanwhile, she's just collecting evidence that she can use in the future. Her war chest of information on you gets bigger over time, and soon there's a collection of all your past mistakes and any mistakes you've made with her. Real life example. You once mentioned you had a crush on Jessica in high school. Next thing you know, your narcissistic, insecure girlfriend has you deleting Jessica from your social media. Wait, that was a long time ago. But nope, she thinks you still want Jessica and she's accusing you. She uses your past against you. Number 2, she asks you questions 1,000 different ways, only to fly into a rage when you actually say, "We've talked about this before." Many times. So you feel like you're being interrogated, and when you mention it, she flies into even greater rage. Then she blames you for her freaking out. What? If you've experienced this one, share your stories in the comments. Now, next one, number 3. She constantly threatens to leave you for someone better, and then she actually acts like she will. Real life example, she gets dressed up to the nines to go out with her overly friendly girlfriends. Friday nights to the bar. Sometimes not showing up home or to her home till way beyond when the bar has closed. And if you question her about it, she says, "It's no big deal, just drop it," and calls you insecure. Another real life example, she's got tons of male friends orbiting, waiting for their turn. They all want her. She knows it, but she plays off like, "Oh, they're just my buds. They're just friends. There's no harm there." Meanwhile, she's texting dude the whole time you're watching a movie together. Rude. And then when you try to talk to her about it, she says, "Don't be such a buzzkill." But of course, if you have a female friend, well, that's a whole other story. And we're going to cover that in number 5. If she's always threatening to leave you for someone better, and then she actually acts like she's going to, that's definitely one of the signs you might be dating an emotionally damaged woman, or possibly a narcissist. Which brings us to number 4. She gaslights you about the little stuff and the big stuff, because she probably is a narcissist. And if her lips are moving, she's lying. Real life example. She's going out with the girls and says she'll be home soon. But when 3 o'clock rolls around and she's not anywhere to be seen, you start to get worried. So you give her a call. Her phone accidentally answers and you hear her chatting up Chad, or Chad chatting her up. What's with that? Then she finally notices her phone is on and she's like, "Hello, hello." And when you're like, "Yeah, I just heard that whole conversation." She's like, "No, you heard wrong." Gaslighting. She thinks you're being paranoid, but she'll even lie about the little things. Example, she's got a sexy new outfit and you compliment her on it, but she says it's not new, or she even gives you hell for not remembering it. But you know, that's an outfit you would remember. So wait a minute, why is she fibbing about this? Is that outfit for Tyrone? You start to think you're losing your mind, which is exactly the point of gaslighting. Meanwhile, number 5, she's a hypocrite with double standards, because all the things you get in trouble for, she can do. She doesn't get in trouble. You're not allowed to question her about her past. You're not allowed to question her if her stories have holes in them. Example, she threatens to leave you every other week, But when you finally start to question the relationship, she freaks out and goes silent or totally ghosts you for who knows how long, till you come groveling back. Never grovel. And of course, she's allowed to have any male friends she wants, but you're not allowed to even talk to Sarah at work. In fact, she's kind of found a reason for you to ditch all your female friends on social media, usually by saying you have feelings for her. And pretty soon, you're making excuses to avoid social events with your friends, just in case another woman might be there. You even start to feel guilty that you'll have a good time without her. Like, what's that all about? Meanwhile, she can go out with anyone, anytime. And she does. Hypocrite, double standards. 6, she acts like an entitled, heartless princess, but then calls you the selfish one. There always seems to be one set of rules for her and a different set of rules for you. Real life story. This one broke my heart. It's 2020 and the world is locked down, and you just found out that a close family member who lives in another country has passed away. You're super upset because you can't get to the funeral, understandably. So you have a cry. That's normal. That's healthy. That's grief. And you look forward to your girl coming over just to be with her and just to get a hug. But when she does arrive, she looks at your red eyes and is like, "Were you crying? Don't ruin my Saturday night." Wow. Meanwhile, of course, you've always been super supportive of her, no matter what tragedy is happening in her life. But you're the selfish one. Right. Number 7, nothing is ever good enough. And it's never her fault. It's always your fault. You spend all your time trying to make her happy by buying her gifts and taking her out for fancy dinners or maybe on holidays. But even then, she finds something to complain about. She's impossible to please. Real life example, it's Christmas time and you know the kind of perfume she really likes. So you go to the store and you buy the biggest bottle you can find. You wrap it up, and when she opens it on Christmas Day, she's pissed off. Why? Well, it wasn't the one she wanted. You bought eau de toilette and she wanted eau de parfum. Oh, well, pardon me. So she makes you take it back and get her the right one. And of course, they don't take perfume on exchange. So now you've bought 2 bottles. And meanwhile, she's like still choked because you ruined her Christmas by not getting her the right one at the beginning. This is a true story. This happened. I know. If you've had any similar stories, share your stories in the comments. You are not alone. Ladies, if you're watching this, don't be a see you next Tuesday, for crying out loud. Whew. All right, let's carry on. Number 8, she's a taker, not a giver. Unless she's love bombing you with a purpose. The only time she gives compliments, affection, gifts, or anything is either in the beginning when she's trying to hook you in, or later on when she wants something. And if you haven't watched my video on the sweet lies, how many are there? 5? It's 5 sweet lies. She'll tell you when she's manipulating you. You want to watch that after this. I'll link it at the end. But now, real life example, taker, not a giver. You go on holiday, and on your last few days, you're out shopping around together looking for gifts that you're going to buy your friends and family and loved ones. So at the end of the day, you show each other your wares, and you're like, "Who did you buy those things for?" She's like, "She bought them all for herself." "Didn't you get anything for anyone else?" "No. Are you trying to make me feel guilty? This is my holiday." She's selfish. But you drop it because you don't want to make a scene or have her fly into a rage and ruin the last few days of your holiday even more. One of the signs you are dating an emotionally damaged woman is definitely calculated love bombing. Along the same lines as number 9, she's overly egotistical and vain, and it's your job to feed her ego. Now, it's not a terrible thing for someone to want to be well put together. They can say they want to look good for you. They also might want to make sure that they're going to be the top priority in your sight line. But if she's doing it because she wants other people's attention and validation, that's a whole different story. And if she's always looking in the mirror or has a collection of designer shoes and handbags that she can't afford, that could be a sign that she is an emotionally damaged woman. And of course, you're supposed to compliment her on the daily or you catch flack, but she never compliments you. Or she only does it when she wants something. And of course, you're expected to pick up the tab on any indulgences. But if you try to talk to her about budgeting, again, she freaks out and you become the bad guy. And her vanity and ego only seem to be surpassed by one thing: Number 10, she trash talks you to your face and behind your back, and her friends do it too. And how do you know? Because she tells you so. And she does this to make you feel insecure around her circle of influence, so you'll either avoid them or you'll be very careful about your words around them. She doesn't want them knowing that you're actually a really good guy. So in order for her to prevent you from rebuilding enough self-esteem to actually leave her nasty ass, she gossips about you and puts you down. And you know this because not only does she put others down, but she tells you what her friends, family, and acquaintances think of you, and it's never good, which means that's come from her telling them that stuff. So-and-so thinks you're selfish. So-and-so thinks you're not generous. So-and-so thinks I'm too good for you. But if so-and-so knew what you know, they'd know that's not true. But of course they don't know because they only hear her side of the story. So you avoid her friends and family, and meanwhile, of course, she's got you avoiding your friends and family. Pretty soon you're isolated, which is a tactic that narcissists use so that you won't leave them. And by this point, you're a shadow of your former self, still hoping that your love, admiration, adoration will make some kind of a difference and change her for the better, but it never does. Okay, can a narcissist change? Let's look at that and the question you can ask to find out if she is a narcissist or an emotionally damaged woman. But first, let's go through a bonus tip by Mike Whiskey Tango. Thanks, Mike Whiskey Tango. Mike writes that he's discovered a trick to find out if she's a narcissist. During the love bombing stage at the beginning, he would occasionally use self-deprecating humor. And if she was a narcissist, she typically wouldn't get it, because narcissists don't get self-deprecating humor. They don't self-deprecate. That's a great tip. Thanks, Mike. Which brings us to the question you can ask to find out if someone might be a narcissist. Now, this is not foolproof, but it will give you a good indication of how emotionally intelligent the person is. Ask them about their flaws. What are the flaws that they want to get over? What are the flaws that they're working to get over? Something that is an imperfection in them. If they're a narcissist, they will either not want to share that with you because they don't want to devalue themselves. They want to seem perfect in your eyes so they can manipulate you. An emotionally damaged person, an emotionally damaged woman, might actually share that information, but work to telling you like, I'm working on that, or maybe I need some help with that, or it's not been good in my past relationships. But a narcissist will try to avoid answering that question at all. Can they be cured? Narcissists cannot be cured. So far, science says can't be cured. They can modify their behavior, but it's an act. It's not genuine. So how many of these signs have you experienced? Write your stories in the comments below. They help each other. They help you help each other. Help me help you. Help me help you. What's that movie? And if you want to spot some other red flags before it's too late, then watch one of these two videos next. Thanks for being here. God bless.